After much loving thought, study, and planning, a special type of Mass is being offered at a church in Northern Virginia. What is called a sensory Mass provides a safe space for parishioners with sensory processing issues, mental illness, or disabilities to worship in an accepting environment. It is offered at only a handful of parishes around the country. EWTN News In Depth attended a sensory Mass last weekend. Here's reporter Roselle Reyes.
Creating a safe and welcoming space where everyone feels accepted and can be themselves.
With the sensory Mass, she was able to sit through beautifully today.
This is what Nativity Catholic Church in Burke, Virginia strives to be with its sensory Mass. It's like regular Mass, but with a few changes.
Dimming the lighting, softer sounds, turning down the speaker system, less music, and quieter times.
A sensory Mass helps reduce overstimulation and sensory overload. Many people benefit from this environment, including those with sensory processing challenges, autism, intellectual and developmental disabilities, and adults with Alzheimer's disease and dementia.
When I heard that 20% of the population struggles with that and would not be able to come to Mass, I said, I think we need to take a look at this. It got my attention. Because I really believe in opening wide the doors for those with developmental disabilities, and because they bring so many gifts to the church.
Monsignor Bob Solinsky is the pastor at Nativity. He tells us that the sensory Mass was a product of grassroots efforts.
It initiated by one of our parents who have children on the spectrum, and which led her to become an expert and a teacher in working with those who have sensory integration challenges.
That parishioner was Tracy Hewlin.
So I had noticed at church that we had a lot of families that were standing in the back, and they didn't have the availability to go into the training room because there were a lot of babies and crying, and some of the children needed a little bit more movement, so being in the pews was a little bit difficult.
With Monsignor Bob on board, Hewlin partnered up with the parish's family ministry coordinator and special religious development team. For 2 years, they went to work planning for the parish's first sensory Mass. Part of that included preparing a variety of regulation tools for people to use, such as noise cancellation headphones, fidget toys, and wobble stools. They even created a special missalette.
We have a adapted missalette, and inside it has a visual schedule of the Mass, and so they can check off the different parts of the Mass as they occur. And for somebody that needs that predictability of what's going to happen, and in the Mass we have a lot of loud parts and quiet parts.
Priests at Nativity were also part of the training. Monsignor Bob explains how he changes his homily for sensory Mass.
So whatever the message is, 3 sentences is ideal, repeat it 3 times, and then sit down, and then silence. And it can be a really powerful homily.
Prepare the way of the Lord. Live in hope.
After much hard work, Nativity Church celebrated its first once-a-month sensory Mass in August. Lorraine Sakara and her daughter Jill have been attending since.
It's wonderful. I am thrilled, and I am so thrilled to have Jill back in the pews, receiving Eucharist.
Lorraine explains that Jill has autism spectrum disorder and is extremely sensitive to noises, that it would be very difficult for her to sit through regular Mass. So for many years, Jill did not go to church for Mass and only watched Masses online.
She would be overwhelmed with overwhelming visual stimulation by the crowds. The noise, things that don't bother a neurotypical person, would be really upsetting to her. And just as an idea of how difficult it was for her, she would be sitting in Mass and would sneak her pencil out and just would be digging in her nails until they bled.
Now Jill is able to sit through the entirety of sensory Mass, and if she needed a break, she can go to one of the sensory rooms available. Monsignor Bob says every time they have the sensory Mass, the congregation keeps growing, and he has met so many new families. The Nativity Parish community hopes its sensory mass gains attention so that more sensory masses will be available nationwide.
Well, it wouldn't be the Church of Jesus Christ if people were left out, because Jesus reached out to everyone. Hopefully, others will be able to respond to that need and would want to in their own diocese and in their own parishes.
Roselle Reyes, EWTN News In Depth.
If you are interested in the sensory mass and the model that Nativity Catholic Church has developed, you can find online resources at nativityburke.org/sensory mass. It might be a program your diocese wants to explore.